What's up, everyone? Just wanted to do a video on my current PSA card collection. It's not very big, but I thought it'd be kind of interesting, just to have it documented, kind of the start, because I definitely intend to grow this collection out over the years. But I'll go ahead and show the first one. It's this Jaxorus EX. As you can see, most of these are going to be PSA 9, and I know some people it's Gem Mint 10 or nothing, but I feel like the PSA 9s they're kind of getting overlooked. Not it, it's a card to card kind of basis that might change, because obviously Gold Star 9 is still going to cost quite a bit. But yes, this Jaxorus EX Flash Fire. I bought this one for $25, so that includes shipping and the card itself. And you'll start to see the theme of a lot of these cards. This one right here is the Full Art Kangaskhan, also in a 9, also from Flash Fire. And this one I think I paid about $28 with shipping. And again, I just feel like $28 for, full art card, one of the hardest cards to pull in the whole set. And when Flash Fire packs are selling for 20 to 30 bucks right now, factor in the grading card, $28, yeah, it just doesn't make much sense to me. Right here we got going a little bit older with the Plasma Freeze, so a 9 Latias EX. This one is $27.99. So notice, a lot of these 9s I'm getting for less than 30 bucks. When you consider that now, $10 to even send when you're doing bulk, $10 per card. It's pretty crazy to get a 9. For any of those prices. Now, this is the first 10, and this is one I actually did not buy. This is one that I actually pulled and got graded myself. But I really wanted to show him because if you see right there in the top left corner, you can obviously see, the centering, it's not, you look at the bottom right there from right there over there, kind of slants down like slightly, it looks like. I don't know, it's kind of straight. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is, cards don't have to be perfect to get a 10. They got to be close. Usually, you can't see like a bunch of whitening and stuff. Like obviously, the rest of this card is perfect. But as you can see, the centering isn't perfect. And I know some people, they're a little hesitant to send their cards in because they do think it has to be 100% perfect to get a 10. It's just not always the case. Now we got the Reshizard from Unbroken Bonds. This is the easiest one to pull, but the reason I really like this card is I actually pulled it out of my first time I ever opened Unbroken Bonds. I actually pulled this, and if we're taking nostalgia, all that kind of stuff out of it, iconicness, I guess you could say, this card, in my opinion, it's way better than the base set Charizard art. And I think most people are going to agree with that. Like, obviously, the hobby has nostalgia is a big factor, especially in the vintage stuff, obviously. But I just, only reason I even bring that up is because there are so many people who only collect vintage, which is fine. But I think if they looked a little bit more, they'd find even this set came out 2019. And that's, that Mitsuhiro Rita is that's the same guy who made base set Charizard. So, you got a lot of similar, or the same artist, still working on some cards today. Next one Cosmic Eclipse, and I know some people are probably wondering why I would even bother getting one of these, but I love the secret rare trainer cards in oh, looks like we have to get that out. Yeah, love the secret rare trainer cards. And this one, oh, by the way, I forgot to say that this Charizard was also one that I graded myself. Just in case anybody was wondering, because this one I did buy off of eBay. And yes, it is a 9 of a modern card of, it's getting way more popular pretty quick. I know when the set had like first come out, because I started collecting again like January, February 2020. But I've always kind of kept an eye on the TCG, because I've played the games consistently since Red and Blue. But the cards were, it gets expensive, especially when you're a kid trying to collect. But yeah, I mean, this was $17.99 that I paid for this. And again, some people might think that's really good. Some people might say that's whatever, because these cards, they're secret rares, but they're not super hard to find. And also not super hard to get in a tin. But ultimately, I mean, again, when you're paying even bulk prices, $10 per card to send into PSA, I'm essentially paying $7 for a mint, what is, in the eyes of PSA, almost a perfect card. Just seems crazy. This is actually the very first PSA card I bought. Actually got it from TCA Gaming. Sure, a lot of you guys probably have heard of him. He's got a crazy eBay store collection. Been doing it for forever. But yeah, I mean, this was another one. It was $30, and I think that's a fair price. Because it was, this was a pretty easy to find set, especially when I bought it. So yeah, I think $30 was a pretty fair price. And again, I mean, you might have noticed already, but I mostly am just buying cards right now. Maybe it'll change in the future, but right now I'm mostly just buying cards that I like the artwork of, and that I'm finding to be, pretty cheap for what they are. So this one is actually the Japanese, so Wild Blaze. This is the secret rare. And if you guys opened a lot of the early XY era, you probably noticed the secret rares are kind of lackluster compared to the current, rainbow rares and stuff, because this is a secret rare, but I mean, the only difference is that it got a little bit of that gold on the and I think the English version actually has more gold, a little bit easier to tell. But yeah, this one was $30, and I actually bought this one off of SM Pratt. And again, a lot of you guys probably know who that is, and if you don't, you should definitely go check him out. He is just, an endless well of knowledge in the hobby. I've definitely learned quite a bit just from watching his videos and Patreon and stuff. So yeah, definitely go check him out. This one I bought because I actually thought it was the holo. It was one of those things where it was, I bought it for $35. And I was thinking a first edition Dark Wheat, and I know this is like one of the most, the least popular in the whole set. But I didn't even check. I said $35 for a Wheeze, because to me this is a very nostalgic art. Like when I think of Rocket, this is top 3 cards I think of every time for sure. Like I almost think of this more than I do Dark Charizard. And I think it's because, obviously he was easier to get. But I bought it because I thought it was the holo, and it's not. But regardless, I mean, I'm not upset with it. $35 for a first edition 9 of, I feel like almost anything is not bad. And also, by the way, the sleeves I have are, forget the name of them, but basically you just go to eBay or somewhere and just look up like PSA card sleeves. Maybe try to find one in the description that specifically points out like the size. I mean, you'll probably be able to tell, but I know that they make different sizes. But the ones I have right here I really like, just because, I mean, as you can see, there's barely any leftover, like a very, very tight fit. This guy I bought for 30 bucks. And again, it was one of those things where it's a super, I mean, I love Scizor, super cool art, full art, so, you know, harder to pull for sure. You know, not a super old set, but that's another thing to think about is, you know, some of these cards, even though they're around a lot right now, you know, nobody, including myself, can say in the future how rare they're gonna be. And I think as prices, you know, go up, I don't think the way prices are going up right now or it's gonna be consistent. You know, any market has some drops and some gains, but I think 9s are definitely being undervalued in some of these, especially modern sets. This one, I'm admittedly not a huge fan. This one, you know, I really do like Tyranitar, but if I'm being honest, I think I like his regular form better. But ultimately, I still thought it was really cool. For 35 bucks too, that's how much I paid. And that's a small. See, did anybody else kind of miss when they made smaller? It just feels like every single card in the set had a little bit more time in the spotlight, you know. As much as I love sets like Cosmic Eclipse that have, you know, close to 300 in the entire set, yeah, kind of miss when sets were a little smaller. And then my favorite card that I currently have, I actually won this in a bid for about 145. And yeah, it's a 9, so I know some people are thinking like, oh, this set came out in 2015. But the thing to remember is, one, it's an amazing card. I mean, I understand if someone says it's not their favorite Lugia, but to say that it's just not a cool card at all, like I feel like anybody, whether they like Pokemon or not, is going to say it's a super cool looking card. And also from what I was seeing on eBay, it looked to be a very good price. One like 45 for the 9. And really, like, I think, you know, you can super slight, you can kind of see the whitening. I think that might be what did it in. Because other than that, to me at least, centering looks, I mean, pretty good. So also the surface, that's another thing people I think forget, is that, you know, they use super high intensity lights to look at these things. You know, they have ways of seeing, especially on a foot. I mean, every bit of this texture could be scratched. But yeah, as of right now, this is definitely my favorite card in my whole PSA collection. But yeah, not a big crazy PSA collection, but I still thought it would be fun to make a video on it, just to kind of show off some of the cards that I've gotten just over the last like couple months and stuff. And not for, you know, I'm getting 9s, not 10s, but still not pay. I mean, $17.99 for that one Cosmic Eclipse, Wally and Gallade. But anyway, if you guys would leave a like, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. And thank you for watching.